Singapore. I've heard it being suggested about Mahathir Mohamad in Malaysia. I've heard it being said about Japan. I've heard it being said about other countries. But there was a conscious decision on the part of those individuals and the followership. We always talk about leaders, but we never talk about the followers. The followers must also style up. Africans on average are for some reason attracted to thieves. Africans are for some reason attracted to men and women who cannot serve her. And when they are not served, then they complain. When Africans are told, choose you now whom we shall release, Jesus of Nazareth or Barabbas, they say, release Barabbas. And when Barabbas behaves like Barabbas, they say, why are you not behaving like Christ? It cannot be done.
In May of 2001, signed a second of two executive orders, number 13213, Defense Exhibit D310, in which it was stated, and I quote, the government of Liberia's complicity in the RUF's illicit trade in diamonds and its other forms of support for the RUF are direct challenges to the United States foreign policy objectives in the region as well as the rule-based international order that is critical to the peace and prosperity of the United States. Therefore, I find these actions by the government of Liberia contribute to the unusual and extraordinary threat to the foreign policy of the United States described in Executive Order 13194, with respect to which the President declared a national emergency. This executive order did not say the alleged complicity, it concluded the complicity. The conspiracy was born, all systems put into motion, and here I stand today. I never stood a chance. This is the broader contextual matrix that regrettably did not and still has not seen the light of day in these proceedings, despite the gallant efforts by the defense to unearth and reveal the contextual rise and from down the main street in Mabudu, the executive mentioned, daring one of us to come in unless he is happy to go to the special court for Sierra Leone. This scenario is not out of the realm of possibilities. He then asked, how do we assure Liberia's future? And he answers that. Ultimately, he says, what we do about Taylor in the next several weeks will will determine the fate of Liberia and the new administration of its president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Crane then sets out several plans, two of which I'll state here. He said, first, hand Charles Taylor over to the Special Court for Sierra Leone for a fair trial, his kind of trial. This takes him out of the local and regional dynamics that is West Africa. Second, tie any financial and political support to good governance in Liberia. Time does not permit, but the exhibits are present. Not even the if Taylor was not turned over to the special court. And what happened? Obasanjo buckled and capitulated. Now, this demonstrates the significant pressure that was brought to bear on President Obasanjo, irrespective of his personal and leadership obligations to the West African sub-region. And therein lies the dilemma for current African heads of state and government, but how to enter into binding commitments and obligations with the African pair remain steadfast, resolute, and unyielding in their fidelity to those agreements in the face of such unrelenting and punishing pressure from powerful Western leaders.
When they welcome me, they say they were freedom fighters. When they welcome me, they say they were liberators. But when they keep their time, they change their mind. When they keep their time, they change their mind. What kind of people they do?
They are freedom fighters.
What kind of people they do?
They are freedom fighters.
You freedom fighter, you raping up women.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you killing up children.
They are freedom fighters.
Freedom fighter, you destroying our country.
They are freedom fighters.
I mean, the tone, the questions, the messaging all in one package, all just in one package. Waking you up this morning, helping to start your day, preparing your mindset, helping you to set the agenda that drives us towards national development, engaging the politics, keeping our eyes and our minds on the governance qualities, and ensuring that we get to where we want our country to get. Disagreeing but coexisting. Let me say a very, very pleasant good morning to all of you across the country. Good morning to you, good afternoon, good evening to those of you in the diaspora following us this morning. Our friends, our fans, our followers, our critics. And even those of you who do not like the things we say and the way we see them, it's good to have all of you joining us this morning to talk the issues, to engage the personalities on the issues. And he says that we can extract from them, I'm talking about the stakeholders, the answers that we need, the answers that we demand. A lot to talk about this morning. ANC political leader Alexander B. Cummings was in Grand Detail over the weekend as a keynote speaker at the CDC 22nd anniversary celebration he made a strong speech. We have been taking our time reviewing the speech and looking into the issues raised, and today is our time to proffer an overview analysis of all of the issues Mr. Kumi spoke about in Great Jide. We also have an opinion about the CDC itself as a political party and its entire organization of the activities in Great Jide. A two-in-one package this morning, all into analysis, just for all of us. And this will take us straight up to 9 o'clock. And at 9 o'clock, the newest lawmaker of a master degree, Representative Frank Safuko, will join us to talk governance, leadership, and politics. Otus, I think you have to come in here and make some adjustment with the camera for me. These are the issues to talk about this morning. I think the image is too, adjust it back more, Yeah, just adjust it back. Yes, let's take a break from our partner, Cramstable Liberia. We have a couple of partners on the show. Initially, it used to be only Cramstable, but now we are partnering with the Ansu Student Polytechnic. And so we'll also take a walk from the Polytechnic. And after that, we run into the issues that matter most to our country's growth and development. My name is Austin Kawa. Abu cannot be here this morning. Yeah, man. After a long drive from to the southeast and back from the southeast, he arrived late last night. The body needs some rest, especially so as a family man. The back needs to be massaged and all of that. So let's take a walk from our partners, Cramstable Liberia and the D and Sodin Polytechnic. And after that, we run into the issues. Stick and stay, don't go nowhere, we'll be right back.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to serve the source of vigilante justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. This is Old Man Sam Steiner, your community crime fighting partner. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Steiner.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia. We want peace in Liberia.
Hey, have you heard the good news for high school graduates, job seekers, and scholars? Professor D. Ansusoni Polytechnic, an institution of higher learning, is proud to announce admissions for the 2026-2027 academic school year. Whether you're passionate about education, technology, business, healthcare, or social development, we have the right program for you. Our 2 years associate degree program prepares you for immediate employment or advancement for our 4 years bachelor's degree program. We offer comprehensive facilities, including equipped science laboratory, computer center, advanced digital library, and everything you need to learn comfortably. Special discount promotion First 30 students get free registration. So, rush now. Entrance runs from July 3 to the 31st. Limited spots available. We are located at Virginia Hotel Africa Road, United Community, opposite Conference Center Junction. Call us now. Plus 231 886 544-887 plus 231-777-738-077. Visit our campus for a tour. Don't miss this opportunity. Hey, have you heard the good news for high school graduates, job seekers, and scholars? Professor D. Ansusoni Polytechnic, an institution of higher learning, is proud to announce admissions for the 2026-2027 academic school year. Whether you're passionate about education, technology, business, healthcare, or social development, we have the right program for you. Our 2 years associate degree program prepares you for immediate employment or advancement for our 4 years bachelor's degree program. We offer comprehensive facilities, including equipped science laboratory, computer center, advanced digital library, and everything you need to learn comfortably. Special discount promotion. First 30 students get free registration. So, rush now. Entrance runs from July 3 to the 31st. Limited spots available. We are located at Virginia Hotel Africa Road, United Community, opposite Conference Center Junction. Call us now. Plus 231
What happened here?
544-887 plus 231-777-738-077. Visit our campus for a tour. Don't miss this opportunity.
Okay. Thank you. We can go to our Facebook page. Let's see who are those joining us, or some of those joining us this morning. If we have the time to recognize all of them, we shall do that. If we do not have the time to recognize all of you joining us, we will recognize a few of you, and then I see why. And then we can move into our discussion this morning. Let me say thanks to all of you for joining us. Those of you who have joined us, it's good to have you joining us using your different platforms to follow the show this morning. I hope your weekend was good. Uh, those of you who celebrated your birthday over the weekend, we'd like to say happy belated birthday to you. Or those of you celebrating today, we wish all of you the best in your new age. I know a few persons celebrated on the weekend, and some are celebrating today. But let's just say happy belated and happy birthday to all of you who celebrated, and those of you that are celebrating. Um, I know the weekend may have been challenging for some of you, like it was for some of us. You know, the activities are too many on the weekend. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole mixture. It's a whole chemistry. You know, you have to, and then graduation also came in. I like to say congratulations to all of our colleagues who walked all of the walls of Cottington University, especially our colleagues from the master program, the graduate school. I know Frank Safuko walked out. Daniel George also walked out. He's commonly known as Dent. You know, the Liberian musician Dent also walked out. Sandra Samoa also uh, walk out. I mean, the way you're playing this, well, yeah. Congratulations to all of you. You know, yes, who graduated from a continent on the weekend. Josephine Ray also walk out. Yes, Josephine Ray, one of our media colleagues, his sister, to me personally. So I'd like to say congratulations to all of you. Yes. Let's see, Jonathan Samu. I hope I got your name correctly. Jonathan Sansui. Sansui. Yeah, something like SWUE. Jonathan Sansu, it's good to have you joining us this morning. Emmanuel Bro, um, from the USA. Jeremy Dwells, watching Abbas Farmer is joining us this morning. C. McCarty Jr. has joined us. Vinicius Jr. Bar is following. Charles Weir has joined us. Emmanuel Whitty is following. Jack Abenigo too is joining us. Daddy Boso has joined us. Mark Cody Sr. Is following from the US. Juju Wonway is joining us. Moses Moscow, Gear, Honorable J. Solomon Weir, Limu Pigin is also following us. Ruben Kane, Abraham Cody, Sata Mira is following tonight, this morning. Not yet. Bobby Jadia has joined us. John Dodo, Matt Thomas, David Yankan or Yinkan is joining. Bowie, Garrison Doe, Moses, Blackie, Edward Cody, J.D. Williams, Honorable. She was in Green Tea there. On the tag. Apparently, she was just a sound to open because Anna Taylor is joining us this morning from Michigan. In the US, Tita Tula is joining us as well from Johnson Street. Hilton Wooler Jado from San Jackson Swain. Amara Jala Kamara, Sam Mayui, all of you, thank you for joining the show. Chris Wooler, Kobo Wido, Eric Abbas, Harrison Tompoi, Mohammed Masakwe, Jeffrey Norman Jr., I see Charles M. Dodo Babu. Charles Dodo Babu is joining us via YouTube from Soul Clinic. Clarence Dwyer, Maani Son Mutari, Prince Gay Wongbe, Thomas George, Timothy Testimony, Bessie. All of you, thank you. We can recognize all of you because they list Elong, Abraham, Botwe, Chris Scotty, Masajari, Blay, Kafala, Kaifa, Kamara, Zoyu, Yawi, Abu Masakwe. All of you, thank you. It's good to have you joining us. Today, Davis, Lido, James Lamy. Please share the live. You'll have all us joining the show this morning. Let's talk. Let's look into those into the issues. The important that we. It's important that we talk. Yes, so it's important we talk. I want to do this. Let me do this. So on the weekend, I made a post about one big government official who said to you is going down, and I received a lot of calls, messages, and things. I was like, no, I didn't do the post. This was not about public attention. So this is the week I was talking about, and yes, so that big official is going down. Whether and I told you it's a male politician, and that male politician is going down pretty soon. So it's going to be shocking to some of us, to some of you. Sorry, but he's going down. That male politician is going down. He is going down big time too. So let's. So the CDC was in the opposition. I should say, the opposition members gathered in Grand Jide on the weekend as part of the CDC's 22nd anniversary celebration. I couldn't go there for my own personal reasons, and so, but we were here following. They call it the play-by-play description of everything that was happening. There are a number of things that we cannot talk about randomly and all of that. But at times, these kinds of strategically positioned platforms, we focus on some, specifics to give you an understanding of what the key issues should be, or that we should consider, especially those political leaders. They are like a policy the policy actors. So we focus on the things they say and how they fit into strategic policies that should drive national growth. You know, uh, but the CDC itself, the program, the positives, the positive takeaway, some shortcomings of the programs that we ourselves were able to observe. And I think we should have these conversations, you know, to prepare us for the next one. It's important. But let me say thanks to the team, the Freedom FM team, headed by Abu, that took charge of the Green GDN and brought us everything that we needed to know that was happening there. But in my mind, based on my own observation, I believe that the biggest success was the symbolism of I should call it the symbolism of opposition unity. Yes, it even symbolized unity or cohesion amongst the opposition in our country. For me, that's the biggest, takeaway. Talking about inviting Mr. Alexander Cummings as a keynote speaker with other opposition figures, also participating. It sent a message, that the opposition recognizes the need for broader cooperation. For me, that's how I see it. It sent the message that the opposition recognizes the need for broader cooperation. That is, if it hopes to effectively challenge the Unity Party uh, in future elections, and everybody is talking about 2029. You know, uh, that was perhaps the most important takeaway from the event. Yes, that coming together, as I said, symbolizes opposition unity. And the second thing is that the CDC demonstrated that it still possesses a loyal grassroots base. Yes, that's the second takeaway, that the CDC was able to prove to the world that it still possesses, you know, that loyal grassroots base, and which is key for them after losing the presidency in 2023. Many persons expected, even CDCs, some of them expected that the party, will lose momentum. But instead, we see the turnout and the enthusiasm in Green GDA actually suggested to me that its organizational machinery remains active, and especially so in traditional strongholds. The CC has some strongholds that traditionally, even if they're sleeping and not even campaigning, they will definitely win those places. And I think that was something to mention. But there are a few shortcomings that we should all talk about too. Yes, we should prepare us for future programs. Where I believe the anniversary fell short was that in its message, to ordinary Liberians. In my mind, I think the anniversary fell short with that. Much of the rhetorics, sincerely focus on criticizing the current government. Much, and I must emphasize, much of the CDC's message focused on criticizing the current government. Hmm? And I insist, in as much that I insist that the opposition parties, must scrutinize those in charge of our country, those in power. However, those criticisms in my mind alone, I mean, it's really, I mean, they're not really enough. We need to go beyond the criticism if we must exemplify or showcase ourselves as strong opposition figure or other strong opposition voice collaboratively or strong opposition voices separately. You know, like we have to understand there are realities that we cannot ignore, and we must not ignore or even attempt to ignore these realities. Liberians are facing unemployment. We should always keep that at the back of our minds. Liberians are facing unemployment. Liberians are facing inflation. Liberians are experiencing terrible road conditions. Liberians do not have access to healthcare. We are experiencing limited healthcare facilities or access. Drug abuse. These are the things that Liberians want to hear you talk about. Because the reason why Man City is a sedition is because she believes that the CDC can provide a better opportunity, a better governance opportunity for her and her families compared to the system or policy that is in charge or that has been put in charge by the Unity Party. So what Masisi, regardless of her loyalty to the party, she too has a life that she desires. Mark Kema in West Point feels the same way. James Curtis in District 17 of Broadview feels the same way. Yan Twayan in Nima feels the same way. The boys and girls in Zulu Whiskey feel the same way. Yes, we support you. Not just because you are CDC or because you are Josh Weir. We support you because we believe that your knowledge, your willingness to deliver in our interest is way higher than the willingness and the capacity of the UP to deliver in our interest. Hence, we choose you. What are the issues? I have already stated them. Unemployment remains high. Inflation is a challenge, which is affecting Liberians who do not have the capacity to purchase because they are not employed. They do not have source of income. So never can they do. Those are the issues. Regardless of the side we support, we want to hear from the CDC. The CDC fell short of that. The CDC had an opportunity to present a detailed roadmap explaining a lot of things which I intend to state here this morning. Let me emphasize this. The CDC had the opportunity. The 22nd, on the occasion marking the 20th anniversary, your birth anniversary, you gave birth to an ideology, a political ideology. That platform was a platform that should have reviewed your leadership or governance path, advanced or pronounced or announced new reforms, whether it's policy, whether it's leadership or administrative, whether it's structural issue, That in my mind would have sent some huge excitements amongst the Palestinians. The Palestinians are already accustomed, they already know how to criticize and critique. So criticism from party leaders no longer excites, no longer excites partisans of the CDC because they too know how to criticize. Man CC 5, 6, 10 years ago did not have the opportunity to phone on radio station, on talk show to criticize the government. Today, she has that access. Man, we are told in Sano didn't have the opportunity to criticize the government on the government's performance. Today, she has a smartphone. She has access to community radio stations in Sano that she can take her phone and call to criticize the government. That's why before, when Akara speaks, the message resonates. Seditions get excited. Today, Akara is using Facebook to criticize. Seditions, ordinary seditions are also using Facebook, young people, women, to criticize and engage the government. So the level of excitement that the seditions had in Akara's criticism and engagement of the government, then that level has reduced because they too are on the same stage with him. They're on Facebook with him. So criticism, yes, may be necessary. But at the end of the day, Liberians want to hear issues that are tied to policy. What did you do? How would you have done it if you are given a second chance? What do we have as a party leadership? What are the lapses that we've identified in close to, and then what do we and how do we intend to address those challenges? Today, citizens want to hear restructuring. Today, citizens want to hear nationwide tour. Some may want to call it a thank you tour. Today, there's different zones across the country seem dormant or inactive or not too involved with the governance or the running of the party. Some feel disconnected after election. Was there a message in there from the CDC to those partisans from the zones? These are some of the strategic concerns that we must emphasize this morning. What has the CDC learned from its 6 years in power in government? Don't you think citizens or supporters of We Are, or Mr. We Are, and even those undecided voters too, especially so undecided voters, because those of us who supported the CDC, that's just the side is already established. Those who did not support the CDC, that side is already established. There is a voting population that is in the middle. There's a population that is in the middle. That population is divided into two. One group is angry with the performance of the current government. Another group is undecided whether they should go to CDC, if the CDC collaborate whether they should go to the opposition as a collaboration, or whether they should stay with the UP or go to the UP, sorry, or stay just undecided. So that's the undecided people. Criticism from the CDC cannot attract the undecided voters or those who are angry with the UP. Just criticism alone, because they too are criticizing. They need to see something else. They need to see the quality or the alternative. They need an explanation. They need a concise conviction that will convince them to come over to join you. It's not just about the criticism. Everybody will criticize. Everybody will criticize. How do we translate our criticism into meaningful policies that will convince all those who are undecided, those who are displeased with the performance of the current government? I think the anniversary was a perfect platform for that. And I see that as a shortcoming. In my mind, that opportunity was not for the siege. The CDC did not fully seize that opportunity. And I'll say this. I've been saying some of these things in the past. I'm going to say this morning. And the reason why I kept my view is because I wanted to see whether these things would have been captured in the anniversary. Another weakness or something I noticed from the program is that I didn't see the CDC still appears, reluctant to publicly reflect on her own governing record. Let me repeat. I still see reluctance in the CDC to publicly reflect on her own record, her own governing record. I see that reluctance in the CDC as an institution to publicly reflect on her own record. I'm not saying when Eugene Namigela, you go on radio show, you go and talk in black. No. I'm saying when Johnson Coach, you go on Facebook, you go, you were responding to somebody or attacking somebody. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying Osi Kawasi on the radio and start talking about all the rules. Or Samuel 12 goes somewhere, go to Facebook and talk about the rules that have been pieces of roof record. No, that's not the structure I'm talking about. Because at the end of the day, there is an institution here called the CDC. This most of the citizens that feel comfortable going to radio shows are lawmakers. Look around. I repeat, most of the citizens that feel comfortable going to radio shows to speak on governance issue or defend the CDC's record on governance are lawmakers. Just a few former officials of the CDC feel comfortable going to radio to defend, to reflect on their governance record. This is a fact. Nobody can argue it. That's the reluctance. That's the reluctance. A few of them. You call them to talk about their, do a reflection, talk about their records in government. Few of them want to come. The rest of them do not feel comfortable coming to talk about their record. And you notice that there is a lack of coordination between the party structure to her former officials. There's a space there. Lack of coordination between the party structure and former officials of the CDC. The party is only able to coordinate or reach out to a few officials of the CDC. So many days we have to sit down and do our own research, running around, to be able to talk about publicly too, to be able to publicly talk about the records of the CDC government. I think that opportunity in Grange there was a perfect platform that should have been used to publicly reflect on the CDC's governing record. Because you see, every political party benefits from acknowledging mistakes. Yes. That is not strategy. So I say, my man, we have a conversation inside. That strategy, that was strategy. No, don't send me down. Don't tell me that nonsense. It doesn't make sense. Every political party benefits from acknowledging mistakes. But you know why it's important that you acknowledge challenges if you don't want to call it mistakes or missteps? Because your acknowledgement is not to please one party chairman or one party secretary general or one political leader. No. The party SG, the party chairman or the political leader, they need followers, they need a base, they need to sustain their base. Because they depend on the base or the basis to support the agenda or the ideology of the party. When the old man is sitting in a corner and hear the CDC chair acknowledging challenges that they face in the health sector and announcing how they will do it if given a second chance, or how they intend to fix it or do it if given a second chance. That in itself renews the hope or the hopes of the hundreds of thousands of supporters and Liberians who are not members of the CDC listening to you say yes. The CDC, at least they are aware that they made mistake here. They are aware that they sleep here. They are aware that they didn't do too much here. They are aware that they didn't give too much attention here. They are aware that probably um the monitoring capacity or energy was low or a bit lower. The fact that they have acknowledged that they had the SFCs year, and then they willing to, they already know how to fix it, how to address it. I think these people they learn a mistake now. In the home, say my man, and yeah, being with the man crying, the man knows that he made mistake. They're leaving. They're giving second chance. The Liberians ready. You have to speak to the consciousness, to appeal to the sympathy of those ordinary people who are supposed to benefit from your leadership. The CDC fell short of that. We need how has the CDC evolved? How has the CDC developed? How has the CDC improved? How has the CDC adjusted? Building on the challenges or the weaknesses or the shortcomings she had. How has she evolved? If you think clinicians are not interested, or non-clinicians are not interested, non-clinicians who do not want to support the UP anymore, if you think they are not interested, that's a business. Look at the margin. How many thousand votes CDC lost election with? So if you still want to overlook, say, there are few people, there's nothing called few people in political party, because we could not convince those few people. CDC lost the election. A few people made CDC to lose election. So every number counts in politics and democracy. It's arrogance if you for want to say, sit down and say, I mean, we're gonna know what they get. I was telling the UP folks the other day, you won election with less than 1% of the vote. And a man who won 1% of the vote, and you call him 1%. The very number that caused you to win election. The person who won more than 1% of the vote, then you say, my man, move here, man. Now 1%, man. But you yourself, you won election with less than 1%. Less than 1% made you win election. And you mocking somebody who got more than 1% of the vote. What kind of arrogance, and illiterate thinking is that? Less than 1% caused you to win the election. Less than 1% caused you to win the election. And then somebody won 1%, more than 1% of the votes. And you think it is good, it is well off politically for you, it is a popular mandate for you. But the person who got more than 1% of the vote, then you see that as a means to mock. No, that's arrogance. That's arrogance. Less than that number may you win. If the person got more than that number. So every number counts in politics. If Kumi had yet declared support for CDC in 2023, it means it was his support was going to reduce or deny the Unity Party return to power. Simple as that to understand. So we can't start calling people 1%, 5%. No, all those numbers are important. And I'll close on this easy thing, so we can transition to Mr. Kumi's speech, because we want to end exactly 10 minutes to 9 o'clock, so we take calls and then usher in District 9 Representative Frank Safoco. I'm going to emphasize to all of you friends in the CDC that every political party benefits from self-assessment, acknowledging mistakes, explaining how you have evolved. Oh yeah, those days I was young, man. The things are there I will not do again, man. I can do those things again, man. I'm old now. I'm mature now. I'm grown now. That's what I'm talking about. How the CDC evolved, acknowledging mistakes. How have you evolved? There are certain things you know you will never do again when you return to power. Those who you want to lead must be aware. That's the simplest way I can place it. That the CDC was in power, she has some missteps. She has already acknowledged that if she returns to power, there are certain things she did. There are certain things, there are certain approaches she made towards certain things, certain sectors. As she pay her, she can't do it again when she come back to power. But only her knows that. The over 800,000 people who voted for you need to know that. They're not aware. The less than 1% who voted against you that made you be in power today. They also need to know. They also need to know that. How is the CDC involved? Without, that self-assessment, there will still be critics, or critics can. Critics can continue to, argue that the CDC is asking for another chance. But you know what they will say? Oh, the CDC is asking for another chance. But the CDC is not demonstrating what it will do differently from what she did while in power. Because mind you, there will always be critics. And criticisms are important for democratic progress. So your critics will always argue. They will always argue, yeah, the CDC is asking us for another chance. But the CDC has not told us what they will do or how they will govern differently. So they need to know. They need to know how you will govern differently from how you go when you have 6 years. This is a bold and realistic conversation that we should not shy away from. No, we can't shy away from it. For Mr. Kumi's speech, it struck a more conciliatory and forward-looking tone. He wants to go like he sounds. Yeah. You see, I like when he emphasized democratic cooperation, and he spoke about opposition engagement rather than partisan attacks. I was like laying back, relaxing, and clapping. I was clapping. I was clapping for him. When the ANC political leader emphasized democratic cooperation and opposition engagement rather than partisan attacks, I said, wow. Because you know what? If we focus our attention on democratic cooperation and engaging as opposition, what it does is that it broadened the appeal amongst Liberians beyond just the CDC faithfuls. Cringy there. From the political reading, I think the anniversary, there's some the critical thinkers now. See the anniversary celebration, yeah. This celebration is less for the celebration itself. Oh yes, For me, it was not about the celebration itself. No, I was never concerned about the celebration itself. I was never concerned about the celebration itself because it's less than the celebration itself. It's more for the signals that the celebration or the event will send. It's more about the signals that the event will send out there about opposition realignment. Opposition realignment. Whether that develops into an electoral alliance, that remains uncertain. But the event showed that conversations amongst opposition leaders are continuing or ongoing, which is good. Which is good. It was a good program. Or the overall, I think I grade the entire event. If you ask me to grade the entire event, I would grade the entire event 7.5 over 10. It was a successful demonstration that it was a successful demonstration, of political resilience. We saw the organizational capacity of the CDC. Still being comfortable. Yeah, we saw that. But I was telling you about many undecided voters. They want to know the next steps beyond just looking at your organizational capacity, which is not on a question because nobody can question the CDC's capacity to organize, to mobilize. But the undecided voters will want to know the next step. Because this is not about showing, and I told people, Green Gila was not about displaying that the CDC is popular or that the opposition coming together can rally numbers. No. Even those who are undecided voters, even those voters who are angry, even those supporters who are displeased with the current performance of the government, they are not interested in any conversation or any debate about the CDC's capacity to, about the CDC's popularity. No, we've passed, fast past that stage. Nobody I can argue CDC's popularity anymore. No, that's not the conversation. It's not about showing that CDC remains popular. So if some of you CDCians or supporters of Mr. We think Green Gila was about showing that CDC remains popular, no. Don't fall for that deceptive politics or argument. Oh, CDC is not popular, Him, Mr. President, is aware that the CDC remains popular because it is driven by an ideology that cannot be killed or destroyed easily, that cannot be unfollowed easily. This was about showing that the CDC has learned. This was about showing that the CDC has learned enough from her time in government and that the CDC can present a credible, detailed vision for solving Liberia's current challenges. So it was not about whether the CDC is popular. For those of us who are critical thinkers of even the side we support, those are the qualities we go for. CDC remains popular. We know that. Excuse me. But we want to know whether the CDC has learned from her past. How do we know? We can sit down and imagine that the CDC is aware. The CDC has to speak to us. They have to explain that for us to understand that they understand that they can present a credible, detailed vision for Liberia, for solving Liberia's current challenges, better than what they did. This, if this is not, I should say that this will be the stigma by which any party seeking to return to power is likely to be graded or judged. Because UP were there, CDC were there, two are coming back. Those of us who are undecided voters, or those of you, or those people who are undecided, because I'm not undecided, I know who I'm voting for. I'm voting for Joe. We are 2020 now, right? But those of you who are undecided voters, what's the standard they are going to use to judge the CDC? Yeah. Now let's look into Mr. Cummings' presentation in Nigeria. Mr. Cummings' address at the party's anniversary to me was more than a congratulatory speech. I didn't see it as Mr. Cummings are going to congratulate the CDC. No. I saw it as a carefully crafted political message that was intended to reposition him ahead of 2029 elections. And not just that, it was crafted to reposition him ahead of 2029 elections, but I saw it as something that strengthened the case for the opposition to collaborate against the Unity Party government. Considering that 2029 is just right next door, some may see it as far, the timing is rather positioned. The message was well delivered. Yes, some may argue that the speech was emotionally appealing, strategically delivered. But I still think that several of the arguments deserved closer examination. Yes, some of the arguments deserve closer examination. What did the program symbolize? I was looking at the symbolism of the occasion, for example. You see Mr. Kumi appearing at a major CDC gathering. It's a signal. It signals a deliberate effort, an extremely deliberate effort to bridge long-standing divisions, between long-standing divisions that existed between, or I should say, within the opposition community. 1 year, 2 years, 6 months running, we've not seen the opposition coming together like it did on the weekend. In my mind, Mr. Cook's appearance, that was a major gallery of the CDC. In my mind, his appearance, yes, the appearance signals that deliberate, meaning we are ready. We are ready. We are prepared. We want to work together, collaborate, and engage together. That willingness, that political will, that's the first signal. The second thing is that politically, it demonstrates maturity. It acknowledges that defending or defeating an incumbent, like the Unity Party, defeating an incumbent government requires, a broader or wider cooperation. Then there's one party depending on an individual party strength. So Mr. Cummings, Mr. Biden, uh, uh, Mr. Weir, they all have agreed, Mr. Kimmer, they all have agreed that, hey, to defeat this incumbent requires all of us to come together to engage, putting our egos behind us and coming together. That's political maturity. The question is, can we translate? Can we translate that signal? Can we translate that symbolic unity we saw on the weekend? Can we translate that into an effective political alliance? Can we? Because what happened in Nigeria, I still consider it a symbolic unity. So the question is, can we, convert or translate that symbolic unity into a concrete political alliance? Can we? That's a question for the leaders in the opposition. Because translating that symbolic unity into an effective political alliance remains a significant remains a significant uh, uh, challenge for the opposition. Given Liberia's history of having fractured opposition coalitions, that remains a significant challenge. Can we translate that into an effective opposition alliance? That's the question from Mr. Cummings. This is why we've been making efforts, we're still establishing efforts to have Mr. Cummings here for us to have this conversation, asking some of these critical questions, engage, extract all of him. He's he. I these kinds of conversations he loves to have. And we hope his team at the ANC will be able to approve our invitation in probably this. Yeah, I will be glad to approve our invitation for Wednesday or for tomorrow because we sent the invitation last week because we knew that Mr. Cummings was going to strike the lightning on the weekend. Mr. Cummings made some, I was also reviewing his personal narrative and his political strategy. You realize that, his comparison of his own life story with that of former President George Weah, was in my mind, one of the strongest, moments that I captured from the speech. By portraying that the both of them, as individuals, the roles from humble beginnings. Mr. Cummings sought to reduce the perception. I see that he sought to reduce that perception that he represents only Liberia's elites. Yeah, Mr. Weah had a humble beginning. Mr. Cummings, I had a humble beginning. From Gibraltar and Libutan, Point Four Junction, all of that. So, you can blend the look at the chemistry that they try to mix and give to you the political juice to the water, the sugar, the everything, the coloring, just that mixture to give you a juice for consumption in 2029. But guess what? Why this narrative in my mind, yeah, it may seem to humanize him in some ways, strong ways too. But many voters will ultimately judge him. And him is a we are not by their biographies alone standing. No, there's nothing Liberian voters don't know about Mr. Cummings. There's nothing Liberian voters don't know about Mr. Weah. There is nothing that Liberian voters don't know about Mr. Bwaka. No. So the biographies of those individuals will not be used, by Liberians to judge them. No. So let's just sit down and rely on who they are, they grew up, where they grew up. No, that alone will not be considered by Liberians. Liberians want to know the ability of Mr. Cummings, the ability of Mr. Weah, the ability of Mr. Bwaka to present to them some practical solutions to Liberia's economic and governance challenges. That's what they are interested in. We do not want to know where Mr. Bwaka left from Wasonga, we do not want to know how Mr. Bwaka left from Wasonga, or how Mr. Weah grew up in Gibraltar, or how Mr. Cummings grew up in Liguta and became vice president for Coca-Cola. No. How can Mr. Weah and Mr. Cummings come together along with Mr. Benity and the rest of the opposition folks to provide practical solutions to Liberia's economic and governance challenges outside or better than what Mr. Bwaka is providing? This is going to be the conversation. Mr. Cummings spoke about government for a few. I said, yes, a leader is speaking. Because when he said that the Unity Party, administration, when he accused the administration of governing for, he said he called it privileged minority. I said, okay. The issues now that Liberians want to hear are coming out. But what will we do after those issues are spoken about? So it's not just about the criticism. How we do it better, differently. Because this is a significant criticism. It's important. It's important because this criticism about President Bwaka governing for a privileged minority reflects basic concerns that are being raised by sections of the public regarding presidential appointments. Yes, political patronage, and obviously perception of inclusion governing for the privileged minority. Take your microphones around and ask. It's in the open. Everybody believes that Mr. Bwaka is governing for only United Party people, for only Lofa people, and only people from Nima. Sessions. People, all the jobs, all the job opportunities in government, Nima and Lofa. Strategic positions, key positions in government occupied by Lofians. These are verifiable, accusations. You can confirm. You can catch up, link up to. Okay? However, there are a few concrete examples, or comparative evidence. Two things. Comparative evidence to show, how the current administration can say, okay, we disagree. Or how the current administration differs, should I say significantly differ, from the previous government, including those supported by today's opposition figures. Mr. Cummings spoke about weak institutions and all of that, poverty, the economic hardship. Yeah, those were key issues. And nobody can argue that the criticism about weak, institutions uh, are, are legitimate concerns, governance concerns too. Obviously, they are. Any criticism about weakened institutions, any criticism that raises legitimate governance concern. That's a legitimate governance concern. Repose of, I mean, the lack of respect for judicial independence, constitutional processes, and all of that, accountability still remains, uh, essential to our democratic governance. But when institutional weakness or weaknesses is viewed as a regime thing and not a government systemic problem, then it becomes an issue. Institutional weakness did not begin under Joe Biden. Even any who built the institutions, there were weaknesses. Fast forward to Mr. Weah for 6 years, there were institutional weaknesses. And then President Biden returns as former vice president, now as president. Institutional weaknesses still exist. What will the CDC do if she returns to power to address institutional weaknesses? Because mind you, let's not forget, every government, or I should say all governments, since the end of our civil war, all governments have faced similar accusations. This makes it a systemic national challenge rather than a one party or one government thing that can be attributed to a particular administration. Systemic challenge. Mr. Kumi spoke about systemic issues or weaknesses, institutional weaknesses on Mr. Weah when he was president. And we can put some of his speeches down. So let's not make this. So this issue about institutional weaknesses down by no. This I mean, it's necessary to indicate, but this is not unique to the government. Our government has weaknesses, institutional weaknesses. What will we do to address, to solve, to strengthen those weaknesses if we're giving power in? These are uncomfortable conversations that I think we should be having. If we want to criticize Mr. Barr for institutional weaknesses, then we must be prepared to one, provide alternative. Acknowledge first where we went when we first short of strengthening these weaknesses, that Mr. Barr government had to inherit these weaknesses, and what we will do if we return to power to strengthen these weaknesses. It's not just all about the criticism. It's about the solution to the problems. Perhaps the stronger portion, of the speech was Mr. Cummings' reference or focus on poverty, unemployment, for example, food insecurity, education, healthcare. These were perhaps the strongest portion of Mr. Cummings' address. We must focus on poverty, addressing poverty, unemployment, healthcare, food insecurity, education. Because these are concerns that remain genuine to Liberians. These are concerns that are affecting the ordinary Liberians. And I was looking up to see after Mr. Cummings correctly highlighted these, challenges or hardships. I think he didn't sufficiently explain how an alternative, government under his leadership or under an opposition leadership who finance or implement significantly different policies to reverse, these long-standing structural problems, not just the criticism, the solutions, not just identifying the challenges or the problems, proposing concrete, realistic, achievable solutions. And we can go on and on to talk about drug trafficking allegations, opposition unity, which Mr. Cummings, spoke strongly about, and all of that. The political messaging to the CDC supporters, which I should also emphasize was important. Because when we're talking about criticism, rather than criticizing former President, we are, Mr. Cummings repeatedly praised the CDC's historical contribution to expanding political participation. That was key. Is that untrue? Obviously not. Mr. Weah expanded political participation in this country. But I saw that as a calculated attempt to build trust within CDC supporters while avoiding unnecessary political confrontation. Fair enough. CDC supporters, like it or not, they remain an influential political bloc in our country. Influential. So we can go to the telephone lines and pick some calls. So we can make time to have the district number 9 representative. But on the overall, I think the speech was politically effective. I think it was emotionally engaging. And I also think that it was strategically timed, striking the balance, including every side. You could see that the Mr. Cummings' speech successfully combined personal storytelling, criticism of the current government, and a strategic call for opposition cooperation. But I think the greatest weakness also in his speech was the limited discussion on concrete policy alternatives. And that's where which the ANC who approved our invitation to economists face our microphones, on some of these concerns and then engage on some of these issues. Because trust me, there's no doubt, I don't doubt that he has solutions, to solve practical solutions to solve some of these problems, which I think Liberians will be interested in hearing him expounding on some of these issues. The time may not have been enough, to exhaust everything at the speech, looking at the way the program, the time the program started, the weather, and everything. So this presents a perfect platform and opportunity for us to face the ANC political leader and asking on some of these issues. Zero 0776 104 104 0886 500 104 My name is Austin Kawan. Um, somebody is writing. Somebody wrote something. Let me read, and I'll respond to. I'll screenshot. I'll respond to him tomorrow on the show. Kelvin Soko. He says, Austin, you have more time on your show to play Mr. Weir's message to seditionists and ordinary Liberians on Saturday, June 27, 2026. Also play CDC Chairman Jangako's message at the same program. Finally, play Madam Ruth Coco Collins' remark at the same event. I vehemently disagreed with your assertion this morning regarding CDC 22nd anniversary celebration message. It's your opinion, but not the facts. So this is our problem in CDC. Kevin, so that's one problem in CDC. Don't be critical. He said that's fine. This is how you play with Google calling message. We're talking the formality of the program, and you tell everybody I should play Mr. Weir message, I should play Janako message. Then I will not turn on. I just play all the messages, then we just go home. This show is not Mr. Weir. This show is not Google calling show. This show is not Janako show. This show is not CC show. This show is run by Austin Kawa as host of this show. I set the agenda. My opinion here is what matters to the audience. We have to understand these details. You want to tell me I should run my show? I woke up 5 o'clock in the morning to come here, come on the ring. And my good friend Kevin Soko is dictating to me, telling me how I should run the show. Because my opinions does not feel comfortable with my opinion. So I must run the show the way he wants me to run the show. This is one of our problems. I was just mentioning this. We have a problem. If I go to come in the morning and say, oh, hello, then yeah, Kevin Soko happy. You agree. Just say all hail. Then yeah. Once you are all hail, it's fine. Even if you have your opinion, your critical opinion, kill it, bury it, stuff it, keep it, suppress it in you to satisfy or please Kevin Soko. And there are many Kevin Sokos out there in the CDC who have similar opinions like Kevin Soko. The only reason why I read Kevin Soko comment because I love his bravery, his boldness, his maturity. No insult, no invented. He disagree with me. These are the kinds of disagreements we must embrace on the show. There are some who will send me text and insult. But Kevin Soko choose to be mature and responsible enough. Him not laugh. Disagreed on the issue. This is democracy. Okay, like opinion. Like opinion. So let's take calls and then I don't know whether our guest is already here, but let's take calls while we are waiting. Is a wrap up and run into our discussion. So focus a little we're fine.
Yeah, Otis back. I call you from Ghana, sir.
Otis, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah. So the problem is that I am very thankful to Mr. Cummings for the speech he delivered to the Liberian people and to sedition. And to the opposition unity is very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
And my only advice to him, Brother Austin, is let them hold together, let them put their differences together, let them put their differences aside. And zero. Listen to stability and LPS. Those guys spoke well. They are all the part of Liberia. They are thinking to slap your power and forget about criticizing one another. Let them focus on pushing power. Thank you.
Sure, and that's why I emphasize in my analysis that how can we translate that symbolic unity we saw in Grangiden? How can we translate that into an effective opposition alliance? Good morning. Sure. Let's hear somebody else. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Habukama. How are you this morning?
Dana Abu Kamara is representative of District 115.
Austin.
Go ahead.
How are you this morning?
I'm
Thank
fine.
you very much. My name is Aiba Abdul. Mr. Austin, I think all the opposition that attended the program of the CPC anniversary, they all spoke very well. Because some of those things that we have been outlining all the people of our time, they also highlighted the whole thing. For example, Mr. Kumi, he made us statement that really touched me. He made us to know that the opposition they are one family. He said a tree may have grow and have so many branches, but they will still have one root. So that means the opposition, we see most of the opposition, when still kind of focus, they always come together as one to see how best they can order to push the interest of the country power and liberate our people from all the poverty to see how they will give up hope. And so for all of them. But all people from the other side will come to the people did not say anything. If people 1%, they say they ain't carry them. When you choose somebody to tell them who to get on their program, if you don't have any percent, they are choosing to go on my program as my guest speaker. That does not mean I don't value you. We should learn to value people. This is the reason why they continue to condemn everybody that supported the election. Calling them everything, bro.
Thank you. Let's hear somebody else. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, brother.
Go ahead.
My name is Hussein and I'm joining the Geneva University.
No, just I'm sorry, we have to let you go. Your background. Good morning.
Yeah, morning, Hussein.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yes, it is ma'am referring from State Street.
Okay.
Never stand here for justice. You know, after when you say the money are getting to you, really are getting with everything that you said. Because at that time, some of our young people have to start calling for air. So calling for the family, we know it. I agree with you. Let it not careful. Let it confuse people that the mistake we made, we will correct it. We were shot in a 1 year, we were shot in a 1 year. So with that, what we want here, it's not about power for this way here.
No.
There's no way we're talking about now. But what they will do that will confuse the God as the author, will confuse people more. Can't forward for me. When the person will ask it, if you are there, the same thing will come forward for you. What's different? So that 1 year back.
Thank you, ma'am. It's good that you understood the conversation, the context of the conversation this morning. Good morning. Okay, once your background is not, we'll be unable to take you. Good morning. Good morning. Let's hear you.
Hello?
Good morning. You are live. Let's hear you. Hello?
Yeah, Austin.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Prince Bono and I'm driving for Jamaica Road this morning. Am I live?
Hey, Prince, go ahead. We live. That's why I'm talking to you.
Okay, yeah, I listened to your talking point this morning and you were kind of patriotic. You were never one-sided with your conversation. And I think what it was very good this morning, be your professional. So the topic as it relates to the discussion of the CDC 22 anniversary as great leaders, you spoke well, the support deliver a very good speech, but it was politically motivated and not within the resource to the people. There are several mistakes that the past government made, and there are several mistakes that the foreign government is making, so we're going to tackle it. The issue of great leader government and CDC population is that we know that for sure. Once we get population in this country, we don't give the type of population in the country anymore when it comes to CDC program. We want to know the type of that will bring in place that will take the country to another level.
Yeah.
We need it. We want to say that we are the part what of people study the program. Somebody did that out there. Appreciate that. Like I'm going to want the business. All I want is social media today. You are not on the program that has the level of what does they pay for you to be there at the moment. We want to say that we are popular. We don't need the popular with the discount. We work with this, so it's not touchable.
Thank Thank you. We have to understand hold conversations in context and understanding the context in this country to move forward. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
You must be sincere about our leaders in our political parties.
My name is Hassan Bey, and I'm from the Ghana market. Show in everywhere.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, okay. Let me take this time to appreciate you for the show, and then we want to take this time to say a big thanks to Mr. Kuman and to all the political parties that were in Grand Chile there. This is the time for us to come together. Mr. Kuman said one thing we say is not going to be that one person, but in collaboration, in working together, we can make this country bigger because this country still have a dream. And in coming together, we can get a dream for this country. So I applaud Mr. Kuman, I applaud all the political parties that were in Grand Chile. I want to take this time to say thank you. That comes 2020 now, we can get a better transformer in our nations. And thank you for everything.
Thank you very much. Next person.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is Gordon Choir. I'm calling you from Omega.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the show. And I want to say to all the opposition political leaders who participated in the program Grand Chile. I listened to your talking point. It is serious that your opinion I respect it. But the bigger thing, Mr. Kawada, we are not into campaign period for this committee to espouse what they're going to be programming, but they're going to people into the territory they are
So you're supposed to Westmont, I know done. So the only time the CDC is supposed to explain what they will do for Liberia in campaign period.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm coming. And a statement that the CDC will be making now. It will be in violation of the door.
No. There's a radio station. Don't do that. No. All misinformation. No. CDC will be violating no campaign law, no campaign rules for her to tell Liberians and her supporters how they will govern the country differently than what they did. How is that violation? How is that in violation to campaign to electoral laws? No, my brother, stop that. Stop that. The supporters of Mr. Weir must be told how they intend to govern differently. That was at an occasion I'm talking about. I'm not saying from now to 2029, every morning CDC will go and tell Liberians how you will govern differently. We are talking about a particular program that was organized, the anniversary of the CDC, reflecting on where the CDC are coming from, whether it's from organization or to governance. And I place emphasis on governance. What did you do when you're in power that you think is a weakness that you identify as a misstep? And how would you do it if given power tomorrow? I created the entire program and everything at almost 8 over 10, 7.5 over 10. When people are not accustomed or hate to be disagreed or criticized or critically analyzed, then they want to leave all of the substance of the conversation and focus on the non-issue, which is sad. And for me, some people know what I want, man. Me and nobody get out of one say. No, me and nobody get out one. Nobody. Me and nobody get out one. I'm not a propagandist. Let's get that clear. I'm not a propagandist. Yeah? So let's understand the different people, the different qualities of people we have at the different places. This person called Austin Kawa is not a propagandist. I am a radio analyst. Eh? I'm an analyst, not a propagandist. Eh? So you won't hear propagandists talking. You can find a propaganda platform, the propagandist, and listen to the propagandist. I am not. Eh? Let's understand that. Let's be clear with each other moving forward. 2 years, 6 months remaining. Let's be clear with each other moving forward. I am not a propagandist. I don't have to be one to support Mr. Weir to be president. I don't have to be a propagandist to support Mr. Weir to be president. I don't want to be a propagandist to support Mr. Weir to be president. I can be a sit down here and do my radio analysis and support Mr. Weir to be president. Eh? Somebody else may choose to be a propagandist and support Mr. Weir and the CDC to be president. And Mr. Weir will respect all of us, regardless of our opinions of the CDC or his government. At the end of the day, we want to bring all those qualities, the propagandist, the strategist, the analyst, bring everybody together and put the Weir's 2029 agenda. That's the bigger picture for us. So don't expect me to sound the way you want me to sound. I'm a different guy. So let's understand that. Then we move forward. When daybreak, I'm doing analysis, and you don't want to hear analysis. You don't want to listen to a critical radio analyst, regardless of the side he has, and you want to listen to a propagandist that will sing in the morning, sing every the next morning, sing the next morning, and then use whatever way they want to use anything they want to use. There are alternatives. You can find that person. Yeah, you can find that person. That's not me. So if I'm sorry to disappoint some of you who want me to be a propagandist or sound like a propagandist on the radio show in 2026 June. No, I'm sorry to disappoint you. Please, let's understand that. Mutual respect, listen to the issue, and move forward. Thank you very much for your attention to this matter. So I will connect lawmaker. I'm not understanding what's happening. It's 17 minutes after 9 o'clock, and there's no signal that he should be around here.
Good morning, political analyst. Good morning. Kosi Kawa. Political analyst, they love me. I agree with analysis, political analyst.
Please go ahead, General Sisi.
Last way of your political being staff, no. I agree with it. They don't tell them for you. So I agree with you 100%. Because what I'm saying, people want to for me, the way you did it, this money, it goes down well with me. Where are we going? Let's start it enough strength. Let's stop it. Let's stop going against one another as a party.
Yeah.
They show them a love. Let's go for them. The people are we are not the city. That was just the there. That the other people go after them. Bring them up below. Talk to them. Tell them what you do. Tell them the night when you have the power. Do not come and say, oh, this is agree. Not for me, I agree with you. Then you have to get this one. But this is not the wrong thing you will say on the platform. When it's not the good thing you say on the platform. You can't listen to anybody here. Not see anybody here. What is this place? Where's the lie is coming? Who is there? Where is them? How is it? Well, I say, well, where's the lie? You know, we're going to put that into it. I want to hear. We're going to break it. We'll have to put it into the program. What is it? I take it in. So, who wants? If you can understand and read between the law, we'll take it in. We'll not go against it. Let's stop letting enough friends as a party exist. Let's reason with one another. The poor men out there, the right get people to get there when it comes to power, you're doing it tomorrow. So, some of the issue is it. When I say something was easy, they come on and then they say, no, I agree with all things. All that person on those is my power before I agree on the why I do it. You know, what other time? Look, they be half of someone, but it's easy. They will put it in your face. Stop letting it up for them. Stop the poor people and then we're not tomorrow. The budget are clean, the budget is fine. The budget is fine. And you want to come to power. What you do for get up before you come to power? So what about that? So let everyone else in my begging of you. That's how we do it. That's how we are. Let everyone else in my work. What do you say? What do you think? So they have to have a committee. What is it about us? What will I say to the citizen or the people? All of we are supporters. Let's go and say that one. Let's be sure of it. We're not saying bad things. Oh, God. What we love for it, and we will get back. Oh, God. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You will be the same people coming back tomorrow saying, oh, I'll see you, oh, I'll see you, I'll see you. Oh, 20 minutes going your time. Oh.
Yeah, sorry, but I almost for you.
There you go. The man still celebrating a graduation is in overstep. Okay, let's take calls here from this one. Good morning to you. Good morning.
Good morning, Babu.
Good morning. This is Austin.
Oh, okay, sorry. Good morning,
Abu is
okay, good
resting.
morning. Sorry. I think I'm just calling the traffic.
Okay.
I think one of the things I let is truth. When you speak the truth, they go against you. They parted our party, they party our open. So, when the children, when they do wrong, when you take it, other people will go against you. They sort of be like, okay, why you try the money and listen to each other? Not just asking, but people will just telling you, yeah, I want you to speak to her. They need to tell her what is fucking you to them, they will not be like, yeah. So, they everybody, they know, just you telling you what I'm saying, I say the truth. The truth that is true now, that nobody wants to take the blame.
Yeah.
How many countries are there today, my brother? Just for the show, I'm listening, brother.
Thank you. You're most welcome. The one who come to tomorrow, then the same problem start to evolve. There's got they come back running to us their freedom. Nothing big for them to the person, speaking out to the person, we get a problem. Just solve the problem now. Let's talk about it now. Good morning to you. Let's hear you.
Mr. Kabak, good morning.
Good morning.
This is the web of Wema High Level Power Delegation. What is that creating you there? I joined into my district 13 residents this morning.
You say what high level power delegation?
Wema High Level Power Delegation, God is not creating new land.
What kind of news? What kind of news is that again?
God don't need from the municipality, your government currently. There is no dedication that the municipal government go on that is not on high level power dedication. All their dedication is far with high level power dedication more than the voting from our company do. And then the president are calling for our president when he went at the secretarial area, people the library, people are born is not really new land. So I don't know two names and I added to my name.
Okay.
So that's my name.
Let's hear your point.
So Abu, our man, I saw him live, he was said that I think one of the MC when he started to do the show. Let me say close to him. You know, my brother, it is good to tell the truth. Then to see the wrong, the man still doing the same thing that you want to have it move. There are some things that happen in the let me see the thing. So, based on things that today, we have to erect them now. Tomorrow, we don't want for people to say, oh, la definition, oh, la freedom FA, oh, la Abu, oh, la Mr. Kawao, oh, la how to call it, no. We don't want it to happen. So, the wrong that happened yesterday, yesterday, there are some people working to this country yesterday. Even the time when this was carrying people for that, when you were protesting and representing against the hospital, T-shirt, Whenever Williams, I never got T-shirt for TC. I was telling them what T-shirt giving to other people who give it to the TC. But I never man because of that. I still work for year to STD without T-shirt, and I went there and spent my time that I wore at back. So there are some when you face a problem at that time, the lady community, they never experience that with one person in a community as well. You can tell me you serve as minister, although it is not a work, it's not a job, but if you want to maintain your job tomorrow, if you want the party to maintain something like you can maintain your job, even when I one or two persons in your community, who do go scholarship, even if they are 5,000, they get to school, they pay 5,000 for school fee, they pay 10,000 for school fee. That mother of that child, that parent of that child, that parent of that child, they will go to the front of payment to say, oh, this person is doing something for our family, so that's why the person will accumulate it. But it never happens today. So today, if they are coming together now as collaboration, we need to generate our partner first before it brings the power that people go. Because we don't want when it's not coming back. Then tomorrow when Baba is saying, oh, no, you're not going to be careful with the trouble. Or for AI to be like, hey, you're not going to be careful to do the war. Or for every different you said, no, the nation not going to be careful to do the war. No. So we have to clear our dead first before we can allow the visitor or the student to enter in our house. Because we
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Your point is well across. Let's hear somebody else. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. Okay.
Let's hear you.
Yeah. I'm running Kendo, calling from people.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to tell President Bakai that the statement he made to on the second after when they were demolishing the people, he said that God is not creating new land. We take that into consider. We take that in, and then secondly, come 2029, we're going to pay back to him that God is not creating new food. So he should get that at the back of his mind. Since God is not creating new land, God also will not create new food for him. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Even though our conversation was not centered around that, but we had to accommodate your comment. Good morning to you. Let's hear you.
Good morning, Mr. Kamal.
Good morning.
Thank you. My name is Lee Vassy, and this is police of Chicago Party. I'm a member of Congress and Member of Justice. Well, what you see, the God, you are saying right. And the opposition coming together for me, my own private interest. And they will come together, and then in final ministry will go for opposition. Then the opposition has red water. Meaning, even in the ministry of education, we have private president is with that final minister. That minister should still go back to that political party. That what happened before, after they married, few months, the other LPP and those all the other cities back. So I don't want this to happen in December. Let it put a hospital to each other, let it work together as a doctor and a woman to start. We pray that it should go because you got taken for me that someone is mistake back here at the time because it's going to help people. They brought you guys together at the end of the day, 2 months later they started by and they started putting their way. So they will come together get something about all the opposition, but so everybody will come together. Let it be for there and at the end of the day let it balance more and we want it to happen. Thank you very much for putting your time.
You are always welcome to participate. Good morning to you. Let's hear you.
Sorry. Good morning, Pastor. And also to the working family, the great to every family, for the record nations, for the public of Boca.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, yes.
Boga,
Yes.
I'm not getting you.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna come in here again.
No, I won't.
Just make small adjustment in call back. Just make small adjustment in call back because that line is really cracking here. Good morning.
Good morning, brother. Kaba.
Let's hear you, my brother. My name is Kawa, not Kabao.
Kawa.
Yes.
Oh, I can't. That's good. So, thank you so much for the talking about the discussion this morning, brother. My name is wasn't busy, and I do join this educational conversations for the community where our people are finding it difficult access to power water, the fish water for the village, and the certificate board river as well. We got from this morning. Let me first of all say thank God that we all will stay alive to see the 22nd anniversary of the city. And it was not only anniversary for the persons, it was the unity of the opposition political party in our country. I mean, the person was doing not only on the business or the population of the people there, but the character that create the occasions, the lack of zero food, MPMC layer, the lack of I mean, that the ANC layer, I mean, there are good people, those guys are people that want to see that go on the reputation. So, if you see those guys come to tell them what number of people that don't know that, there's a fact that they have been discussing this in a long time. So, people come out to say, oh, we have to finish this, we have to finish this job. The people that in government like that people come to they need to be moved. So, if the opposition come together, it's first to hear that. For them things happen to see the future of our country in the coming future. So, Mr. Kava, I want to say to you, thank you so kindly for always putting the opportunity to speak on national political issue. I hope that you guys will be very specific in your analysis. Thank you so kindly.
Good morning, office.
Good morning, ma'am. Let's hear you.
Yeah, veteran power calling from Justice Day, concern Liberia for Justice.
Okay.
Office, thank you very much. I want to tell the media this morning to say thanks to all the opposition parties that was invited in in my room to upgrade our occasion, our existing 22-year occasion. I want to tell them thank you very much. You know, anything that I listen to in Nigeria there that I know that to the now that will be rescued. Let me tell you. Number one, the guest speaker spoke, he said, if I can be careful, I will be careful. If I can be careful, I will be careful to take the net man over the nation. Yes, at the moment. Yes, Samuel Kuka spoke. He said, we pick up president, him went up from there. He said, we got to get president, we are very far. And he dropping our country. Today, the drugs are then imported from Liberia to UK to African countries. Today, the investigation will not be nothing. You take a butler, the government official need a measure, take a photo, you will president speaking on it, you want to strip out of the carpet today. The police director in Nemo, the woman of Papa, the Boka, Madako in Nemo, the Canary, the Papa, the Buka, that is Greta, and near Honey today. Look, let me tell you this. This cabinet talent. When you buy a cafe, I'm going to do that. This is more cabinet talent.
Thank you. We keep doing everything. We were all taking calls today for the arrival. I guess this is going to be the shortest interview in Liberia's media history with our lawmaker, our city lawmaker. Maybe the man before I see what I want to say. Maybe I can be chewing to the public. Good morning, my dear brother.
Morning, Chief. Morning. What's up?
We're good. Again, I must say to you, congratulations on your milestone achievement. I mean, it's worth it.
We gotta keep fighting, bro. We gotta keep fighting. The best thing to do. What's up?
Well, we normally will sit down and do a long list of our questions when we're having government officials here. But it seems that we're going to just focus on a summary interview while my general manager Oliver Khan is reviewing my request for us to have an additional 15 minutes. If it's approved by the general manager, then we can do. But you don't drink alcohol, you don't smoke, you don't go out. Okay, come in. Yes, that was something. How can I come in the really shortly?
I had some community issue last night. There was some heavy crisis somewhere in one of my communities.
Okay.
So I was there up to 3 a.m. this morning. We have to take the issue to the police station, make sure that calm was restored. It was very, very, very heavy. So we left all up to 3:30, 3:45 I was home. And then I have to make sure that everybody reach home. I call all parties. I have to take the case from the police station so that they can go back this morning. They were all elders. So, it kept me up to almost 4:20 before I went to bed. So it kind of took me off this morning. And the weekend, Saturday was a graduation. I was home out all night. So I'm sorry, to the audience, sorry to you. It was not intentional, bro.
Okay, no, it's almost to the public, the public understand. Focus is always coming here on time. So,
so today, pardon me, I will settle that tomorrow.
But you have, you've served for several years. I'd like to start by asking you to, assess yourself. And I'll be specific. What do you consider as your biggest, achievement? If you were your three biggest achievements in this now so far?
So basically, within the 4 years, some months, I have served because I completed 1 year, 11 months for my late boss. And I have served now for 2 years, some months. So I have gone 4 years, some months in leadership. So I mean, I have many achievements in the district. One of the
Let's say your three biggest.
Yeah, so the three biggest achievement in the district, number one is to change the mindset of the people about young people leadership. You know, being very young in my early 30s, becoming a representative. I mean, a young man who I mean came from nowhere, came from selling gas, changing money, and a young man who struggled in the eyes of everyone, who was known, as you all know, to be the Monapen Bear Ball, and becoming a representative. Even some of the people that supported me, there were doubts, in their minds. This young man, some people thought he was just been passing around, just misbehaving and all that stuff. So one of my biggest achievement is to change the mindset of the people that I mean, you don't have to judge the book by its color. Yeah. So through our performances, we've been able to change the mindset, and people have been able to accept us. Even our opponents see us now as a force. They see us now in the leadership position, and they know that we can deliver. That is one of my biggest achievements. The next one is it used to be the cry of my late boss. Almost every part of the district, the roads were very bad. I mean, you yourself drove through the district before, like you go to the new Matari community. It was very bad, very deplorable to even enter the entrance of the new Matari community. Both sides of the old Matari community were very bad. I mean, the main entrances of the district, the major roads. So when I started, by the grace of God, the major movement from up the Springs Fee going straight down to the Lakpasi that connects, to Matadi, that entire road used to be very bad. So we succeeded by the grace of God in solving that problem through our oversight responsibility. And the road that connects from New Matadi goes all the way to Fiamma. That road, I think you can recall where I was in the mud trying to, the people and myself trying to solve the problem. Today that road is paved. Though we started encountering some challenges there, but the road today is okay. And today, by the special grace of God, over 75% of the roads in our district are on course. Almost the entire New Matadi and its environs are paved. Almost 100% the entire old Matadi roads are paved from both ends. You can drive and no mud. And we have portions of Lapasi now being paved, hoping to have its completion. Hopefully, we are looking at one of the longest road in the district, community road, Barrow Practice Ground Road, and one of the longest road again, that is from the Fairman downside, goes across, passes through the market all the way down to 14th Street. Those are the two roads now. We are in progress with the Public Work Ministry to make sure that our district also benefit from that through our oversight. So those are, my major achievements in the district. All the other things that has to do with other contribution, market, and all stuff. I don't see that extra, but those are challenges we have in the district. We most especially the rule, like critics. Sometimes you see one big administrative building, you see my critics flying around. You saw last time we got flying, the promise people in this place is not able to do it. So one of my greatest achievements was to do completion of all the legal paperwork, because when we engage or when we initiated the process from the senators and I were doing the process. There was a little problem, technical problem, where you see major cracks within the foundation of the building. So we've been able to go back and look at it, because at some point in time we did not hire a construction company. We just took a group of professional people from different places and hire community dwellers in the name of, our people. So people went and did the job, and there was very major. It was good that we did not continue with that work to some extent. We would have affected all like what happened to Representative Abu Kamara when he was doing the construction of that clinic that he did over 2 stories, and one day everything just collapsed. So thank God we did not reach that far. So we're able to go back on the drawing board, and everything that is required technically to do that work has been done.
Is a collaboration still existing between you and? Because the last time I visited that project, it was a collaboration between you and Senator Joseph.
I mean, there is basically no issue, but since then, since the two of us re-election, we've not talked about it. Okay. We've not done anything much. We have not done any collabo on that.
Have you reached out to him?
Right after the election, we all have our own things to do. Coming from election, recovery matters. So I needed to have my own wisdom to understand that this man is just from election. I am just from election. So we were giving it a 1 year, chance to put ourselves together. In that time, we had our crisis at the legislature, and it took us very long. So we've just recovered. But while in that process, we have to go back to do all of the technical, legal, and everything. But there is no issue. We've been having conversations.
He's leaving the CDC maybe responsible for your reluctance in engaging him?
No, we've been talking. He and I, we are members of the Maserado Legislative Caucus.
Okay.
Just some 2 weeks ago, we were talking about it, he and I. So, that has nothing to do with what we're supposed to do for our people. That is, in the professional space, you call that professional courtesy. Do we have differences politically on the other side? But this is not about politics. This is about the people, and he's the senator of Maserado. So I can't shy away from him, for us doing work together when it comes to that project.
Your critics may want to know, start from the roles that are being played in the communities, the project you just spoke about, which looks like a partnership between you and Senator. What infrastructure have you initiated as an individual lawmaker in this district that you can talk about?
Okay, you mean in this time, right after 2020 election?
No, your entire service in the legislature.
We've done a lot. So we've done a lot of renovation, and we manage the biggest market in the district, which is the Fiama market. And we're able to reconstruct our market. The people have benefited. We spend a lot on our market.
Is it the one that really broke?
So, my late brother, how you call him, Arvin Tume, we just buried him on Saturday. He constructed our market some years back. And then after some time, the market kind of faded away. So we came over, we had conversation with him after we won the election, and we were able to go back. We demolished it. At this time, we paid modernized it, where we had concrete tables and all those different stuff. And our mothers have been benefiting from that place. We just completed the second biggest market in the district. That is, we did 2 markets in Lakpasi at the Bandit Market. And then that market will be dedicated in a few days.
Are those direct financing or the source from the
the ones that completed my personal money?
Why are you guys spending your personal money to construct?
So there has been some political issues that we've been crying on over the years. Since I was re-elected, everybody in this country knows, and we have said that on all of the platforms. We have said that in section. We have cried about it. Some of us have not been able to benefit from our legislative constituency benefit. That is what our people are supposed to benefit. We've not gotten, our district have not gotten its share. So, but one thing I know that the government also, the government will pay no matter what they do, no matter what kind of politics they do. So we are not basically interested in, all of the political.
So you have to use your my personal
income
finance some of those projects.
Reach out to friends. To help out with some of the things, some of the rural rehabilitation that we do. We have to wait more, and we take our salary. We reach out to some of our friends to help us. So, we just completed 2 of those markets, and one of my greatest achievement I have continued with in the district that I took from my late boss. It has to do with the vocational education in the district. that is something that Mona make us to understand the importance of vocational education. At some point in time, she one time told me on the plane, say, Foko, you see the difference between Ghana and Liberia. At some point in time, I was asking her, how did it happen? So she said, most people in Ghana, when Ghana just came back and they were getting ready for development, the first thing Ghana improved herself into was, vocational education. So today you can find Liberia going to Ghana to ask for people to come and plant light poles to do connection. And today we can go to bring Ghanaians, we have South Africans, we have other people here doing work that we should be doing. So one of the best things we could do is to empower our own people. So since government has not been ready or government has not been doing enough to invest into vocational education, my late boss constructed a vocational school. She leased that place from David Fahar. And we've been doing a lot there. We have we have about 8 circles. But then we have some problem of recent, the Fahaz family, I think there was some crisis and they turned the place over to United Methodist and they told us they cannot continue with the lease agreement they have with our boss, with my late boss. So now we are looking for another place. So while we're looking for another place, we join with two other vocational schools in the district. And we personally, from our pocket, been sponsoring many students. We just have almost 200 that graduated of recent, and we have another 200 financial aid we have provided. Again, the school just opened, I think about a week or two ago, and we are hopefully trying by the grace of God to also, the other school is about to open so that we can also quietly invest into young people. So there are thousands of young people that by the special grace of God, through our assistance, we have helped to have their own knowledge, building their capacities. And then in terms of helping students, most especially scholars within the district, we have tried, to help some students, not all, but we've been having our person, like this year, we have this school year, we have 426 students that ended this academic school year, 2025, 2026. Including people with WAS, and we have 87 from Vera University, excluding Stella Maris and Cottington University. For all the other universities, we have students who have also been benefiting from our financial aid. So we've been trying in our weak ways to make sure, even as an opposition, marginalized opposition, we've been trying our weak ways to make sure that they don't stop us from doing what we love to do.
Can you reflect, take some minutes or seconds, to reflect on your moments, your campaign moments, and can you point to a particular commitment you made during your campaign that you think you have not been able to fulfill, that was timed, and you think you've not been able to fulfill?
Okay, so I don't want to say that I won't be able to fulfill because
you still have years to
I'm
go.
just completing my 10th year. I know that
some people say in other days I will do this.
Oh no, I didn't do. I don't do that political lecture. I don't do that thing. For me, I'm a political realist. The way I see things, that's how I say it. So one of the things I think we have dragged on, and we will continue to do until we meet its fruit or result is we have a school down the 20th Street community.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a school there, and then the Nesedo school, that is the only so far so good, we don't have a public high school in our district. We don't have a public high school because Techman High is
concerning.
Yeah, we don't have a public high school in our district, but we have a public elementary school in our district. So we promise that, by the grace of God, we're going to work with government using our oversight in making sure that it leaves from elementary to junior high, subsequently to senior high. So we have not achieved on that, okay? We've been working with them. We've been working with the government. We've been using everything humanly possible to make sure. So subsequently, we are making progress now, and we are hoping that by the grace of God, that will start through the taxpayer money, through the Ministry of Education and the MCSS school, the consolidated school system, so that that project can leave from one level to another level. So we have not achieved on that.
Do you think you have given significant reasons to your residents, your constituents? Mm-hmm. What do you think they should be voting for you tomorrow, if just in case there were elections tomorrow?
So one of the things I think they should vote for me on, if by the grace of God, if I should be contesting again 2029, I think one of the things they should give me reason. I mean, they should give me chance to become their rep, to be their representative again, is the issue of integrity. I mean, I'm one of the
Integrity doesn't put food on, or wouldn't put food in the hospital.
So
put
the
medication in the health
integrity
facilities.
issue there is we refuse to compromise. Despite the fight in government, we have stood tall and stay standing tall in saying what should happen for JFK, in saying what should happen for our roads, in saying what should happen for the electricity. You know, most people misconstrue the whole representative thing. And some people think a representative should be basically, putting people online to. That's how I want to constitute as a kind of impression to your people in the district. It's not the case. The case here is in my oversight, we have roads through oversight. Through my oversight, generally, we don't have a stable electricity in the country. But once electricity is on, my electricity, not in its totality, gradually we are making sure that almost all of the 21 communities and its different environment, sometimes we'll have a problem with transformer, sometimes we'll have a problem, some technical problem, some different things will happen, but in its totality, I would say that majority of the people in our district have access to electricity. So these are our major things that we've been doing. So in keeping with my TD cardinal responsibility, people know that they don't have a dual lawmaker. They know that they have a lawmaker who speak to the issue. And the lawmaker who stand up. District number 9 name is on the top list when it comes to representation. And we make sure that we will not keep quiet. The government, CDC government, the Union Party government, whatever government that comes to power change, we're going to speak for our people. So people know that when it comes to the issue of representation, TD cardinal responsibility, they know that I'm representing them adequately. Maybe the other smaller issues, we always have small issues. Sometimes somebody will reach out to you personally to solve an issue. Sometimes you will deliver. Sometimes you may not deliver on time. Sometimes you may not deliver as expected. Sometimes you may not deliver at all, depending on what is available. So the one with those smaller issues, we reach out to me yesterday, some people are calling him, he did not answer. I mean, those different issues. At some point in time, my father was sick, I needed assistance, I didn't get assistance, maybe I lost my father. And those different, I wanted to get married, and the lawmaker, I went to the man, they only give me $200, they only give me $500, where I expected $2,000 or $1,000 from the man. There's different issues that will happen. Why it is true, we are also helping others, but we are able to help everybody at the same time. So those are some of the, in keeping with our job, in keeping with my cardinal responsibility, FOCO name is not it's a hustle name in this country, and everybody knows that FOCO stand up for what is right, and we will continue to stand up for what is right.
Okay. Somebody said me I have echo in the background. Okay. So now let's talk a bit about some national issues. That's the current administration has got 2 years, 6 months running the UP administration. In less than under 1 minute, how would you assess President Bouakar's performance so far?
President Bouakar, there are different stages. We have in terms of governance, President Bouakar has failed massively. I don't even want to, in its totality, the government has failed. I don't want to even divide the different. But nobody can tell me where they have. Well, the entire country is disappointed. People that vote for Bouakar, their expectations were high. People that did not vote for him, believing that he wouldn't do it, but with the kind of impression that was created, even people that did not vote for him believe that he would have done better based on how the propagandists impressed the Liberian people. But to our utmost surprise, everybody disappointed. Even people that supported the Union Party, they are disappointed. We have a lot of friends who are working in government, who are working in private sector. There are some people who voted for the government because of impression and on grounds that oh, this old man, he's already old, he's coming to set the pace, he's coming to make sure that he established all these things. Today, now, the drugs.
Critics, yeah, critics will argue, oh, man. We expect from a lawmaker that is a CDC, man. So all that your place of programs will be failure. But can you point to anything you can point to that, I mean, that you think the government has achieved?
So look at those things that the promised the Liberian people, that the government was going to be, they're going to fight corruption. Even amongst themselves, have they fought corruption? And the government official who has been caught into their hand, been caught into the cookie jar, the president asked them to resign. Show me one government official of this government that have gone through the process. No. But a lot of people have been suspended. LCC will go through investigation, they will be found guilty, and they will replace that person. Number two, the president spoke about empowerment, job creation. Show me the job, something that they have given here. Also, dismissing people on the grounds that they were solutions and bringing their unity on the job. Show me what have created job in the private sector, where they have done like the education system. And obviously, everybody will use the University of Liberia. The University of Liberia. I mean, everything is down. Okay, let's look at in general form. Okay, there has been a lot of times taking pay off and on. The period ministry on the other ministry will not take that time. The other one will happen. Some 1 or 2 months. I mean, everything that was done yesterday. Let's look at the transportation. Let's look at gas price. Yesterday, they said gas price was increasing because John was not, he was not capable of stabilizing the gas. At that time, we had a war on that side. Today, we encounter the same situation. So God just repeated everything to show their inability to govern this country.
All these speak to the very complaint that Liberians are making about the high cost of living. The gas price goes up, food prices go up, transportation fare goes up, school fees and healthcare bills, everything goes up. The legislature cannot be excluded from the infrastructure that is supposed to solve the problem. What have you done as a legislature?
The only thing I can do is the legislature has to do with the numbers. And you know what is happening in the legislature. We have so many in the legislature now, very quiet.
I mean, as the house, not as you for go, but as the house. As the house taking action to stop the
house will take action when people representing and boy yellow quiet and they go sinking from one ministry to another ministry with the government. Do you expect that legislature to make an extra impact? The minute when they are yellow, how can the legislature that's supposed to correct the government? How can that legislature now be sinking some supporting the government? I mean, they say we should work together. We should make corrections. So the same legislature that's supposed to stand up tall. The legislature now is operating. I mean, it's a friendly government now. Everybody operating. My mayor can always put more. My mayor say the message is a region speaker. So whatever the case is, the legislature has not won that gamut. I mean, this is one of the reasons Honorable Kofa was removed. Because Honorable Kofa was asking the hard question. He was making the legislature to not be a rubber stamp legislature. He was making the legislature to be, I mean, like one of my friends from out of the country call me every time. He call me rubber stamp legislature. Rubber stamp. I say, my man, the day you come to the country, we invited to the legislature. He said, my man, it is alleged. So normally we think the legislature is not doing enough. We think the legislature is being too friendly.
Because there are complaints that if a perception that the legislature has not done enough or significant, I should say, when it comes to exercising using your oversight to ensure that the budget worked. for do you think this a justified criticism of your performance?
Yeah, I mean the legislature is not doing enough for the people. The hope of the Liberian people, by the grace of God, should be on the legislature. If you have a robust legislature that actually want to work for its people, chief, things will automatically change. No matter what plan a president comes to, no matter how a government wants to be disorganized through the executive, if you have a robust legislature that will be asking the professional technical questions after you do your budget appropriation, you make sure you come back to do hearing to know, excuse me, we put $5 here. What happened with this $5? Why you didn't do this? Why you did not complete this? When you have that kind of legislature, the country bound to succeed.
That answers the question about accountability and transparency.
So if we want to do accountability and transparency, let all play first. Let all play first. Once we order our play, then we know that we're ready to do.
But you were here when some of your colleagues complained, and members of the executive did not say anything. They kept quiet or acknowledged that the former speaker was impeding or strangulating or undermining the GAC's audit of the house. How come today we do not have an audit?
I think it's a problem. I think that's a problem. That's a problem. The whole thing. I think the speaker, the current speaker, Speaker Richard Cohn, needs to step up his game, because whatever happens over there now, he takes full responsibility. Whether he does the right thing, he will be remembered tomorrow in the positive way. When he does the wrong thing, he will be remembered in the negative way. So it is up to him to do what is right. For us, we will continue to see what we can see in keeping with what we're supposed to say. We will continue to criticize. We will continue to celebrate if necessary when the good thing is done. But all I think the speaker needs to do here first, he needs to reconcile our place. The place is not reconciled. The place is totally divided. He has been, by himself, but as a body, he needs to be reconciled. So, it's up to them. For us, what they do, what they don't do, the Liberian people will judge us by our performances. We'll continue to say what we can say, why it is true. Oh, they will expel you when you talk. They will expel you. You'll be expelled. I know that those are just political bluff, and all that stuff. That place.
At this point, we can consider any statement from the House as a political bluff. We've seen lawmakers being removed. We see lawmakers being threatened with suspension, expulsion, compelled to apologize in some cases. What kind of environment describe?
The environment is toxic. The environment is actually toxic. The environment is not friendly. I think the speaker needs to listen. He needs to forget about those group of men that are telling him, man, you don't need those people to work. No, he needs to listen. And if he doesn't listen, it's going to affect his leadership. It has already started affecting the leadership. He needs to listen. Let him stop listening. He got to be a leader now for all and stop being a leader for few. Because, we were not sent there by our family members. We were sent there by our people in our district to do what we are doing. So we need to be respected. The speaker need to understand that, he not boss man for anybody over there. He just first among equal. He just privileged to be in that position. He is a representative like me.
You elected him?
Yeah, we elected him. So he's first among equal.
You have an option.
We'll make a decision. But whatever the case is now, for the sake of his legacy, for the sake of the people we represent, the speaker needs to pull himself together. He got to pull his ass together. He needs to go back in his closet. First of all, he needs to call a retreat. He needs a retreat. We need to go to sit around a table and re-strategize on how to run that place. The place is being seen as, another branch of the executive. People have seen that place to be compromised. People attack us. People engage us on different fronts. I forgot the legislation is compromised. What do we say?
What do you think?
The people who represent the people auditing us. They don't want to do our episode. So when they create us and tell them we'll go for town hall meeting, the people say the legislation is a rubber stamp. But whatever the case is, we still look forward to doing the best for our people, and we hope the speaker can listen, the leadership of the House can listen, so that our people can benefit through our representation.
let's conclude with your role in the CDC, and then we can maybe take 3 or 4 calls, and then we can call this interview a day. Um, institutional restructuring reform have been seen as an issue, views and perception being expressed by some within and some outside. They believe that the CDC must restructure, the CDC must really rebrand, the CDC must collaborate if it must be seen as a party seriously ready for leadership again. What do you think?
Every institution in this world will need to always do some shaking.
Do you think there should be a restructure?
Well, as a member of the party, we have our political leader, we have the National Executive Committee of the party. So, I mean, in its wisdom, we are hoping to see the development coming up from there as soon as possible, as they said to us. So hopefully, whatever the case is, we listen to our party, and we believe that our party has the best wisdom to make a determination as to whether that should happen or not.
Are you insinuating that? Are you suggesting that restructuring your political party should be an option?
When you say an option, what do you mean?
Is it an option whether we will restructure if we want to, and we will not do it if we don't
so
want to?
for us in our institution, we believe in the wisdom of the National Executive Committee. Once we give you responsibility to serve, we believe that we can do all.
Even with the fees, I mean, glaring reasons for reform or restructuring. You have 2-3 persons resigning, leaving your party's leadership.
So when they lead a party leadership, what happened with two? I mean,
There's
people have left.
There are vacancies.
Yeah, so
We should perform the restructuring.
in subsequent time. I mean, the party has time to do those things. The party has, I mean, they have time for everything. So I mean, at the appropriate time, when our time comes, the party will make that determination. But the party cannot be coerced. No.
Do you think so?
No, we should not be in the business of coercing
the party.
No, we shouldn't. I mean, we trust.
The point is they are partisans and supporters of your party. They are not supporting different party.
Yeah.
They are members of your party.
Yeah.
They are supporters of your party who believe that, for example, Sir Joseph, who one of the vice chair left, he must be replaced. Thomas Farah left, he must be replaced. After the national campaign, I mean, Chaplain General left, he must be replaced.
We agree, but there is time for that. Chief, our party is
what time? What time?
The time will soon come. Now we are focusing on the construction. We don't have party headquarters. We did not have party headquarters when Joseph Walker and children went broke that party headquarters down. How can we be focusing on replacing Tomo Farah and we don't have a structure? We are temporarily using the place in this.
When you went to Great Leader recently and celebrated the anniversary, you didn't have party headquarters.
No, it doesn't matter. That was just a celebration to have a convention.
That was the celebration of the 22nd anniversary.
Celebration can be held anywhere. Celebration could be held in hospital. The celebration could be held in Maryland, be held in Greenbass. So that is just in my district. I choose to celebration anyway.
So you have your convention, your by-election to replace the party officials in Lima.
So I think what is very important now is the construction of our party headquarters. After we have completed the construction of our party headquarters, we can go about to the things are not very important now. The party is obey, worship, and follow. That's how we operate.
Obey, worship,
and follow. We follow the party instruction.
That's a democracy.
That's democracy. This is why we have democracy up there. The decision of the national
worship, obey,
and follow.
That's strange to me.
Oh, so now you get you have to go through the cattle tree of the party. You have to go through the party.
Follow.
That's a party, chief. We don't argue our party. We don't argue our party decision. Once the National Executive Committee goes out there and make a decision, this is why we obey. This is why we worship, and this is why we follow. Yeah, that's the party. The tendency of the party. So now we can now be questioning the decision of the National Executive Committee. Yeah, there will be opposing view to that. But in subsequent time, as I said, I don't question the party decision. I don't do that.
You have to worship, obey, and follow.
In as much as the National Executive Committee from out there go into meeting and they make a decision and they vote upon this decision, we don't question it.
Worship, obey, and
We
follow.
worship it, we obey it, and we follow it.
Thanks, Afoko, District number 9 representative on the CBC. Yeah, I think time we're there for is so we just squeeze 2 callers and then we go home. Just honor the tradition. Thank you, management. Good morning to you.
Thank you. I'm thinking of my real in district number 2.
I mean, obviously, I ain't be my man. Go ahead. I hope everyone is listening and Noah gives me are listening like we are calling for a video room. Almost 10 o'clock after things. Go ahead.
We are all to respect your guests, but I want to disagree with some of the ideologies. Also, when we talk about government, it's a three separate entities, which of course is form part of one. But then, in all fairness, those guys who fall in the urban districts, even our own store, they are not doing much. Honestly, they talk more, they don't work. Look at what district 17, the district number 1. Passing the folk got more work to do. That's why you don't see anything on radio. They are engaging. I'm not going to get anyone for that. But I'm talking to all others and living for the country.
Listen. We force these lawmakers to serve the invitation. We force them to leave their comfort zones in the morning to come and answer questions that their constituents channel through us. And you say they're talking because I have anything to do. No, that's unfair. That's unfair to them. That's unfair to them. I will not agree with that one. Good morning to you. Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Smartphone. How are you today? Good morning to my